Yeah, huge potholes and rocks in the road, and it has not been maintained at all. And we're like, these are incredible houses. Like, why do these roads suck so much?
Though, a chance encounter takes us back out of the RV park, and through some good deeds, we land a $1 million beachfront site on the Pacific coast.
I'm Jenny.
I'm Jesse, and you're watching Outside is Calling. You'll see throughout this series, many of the best spots we visit are off-grid.
Some places you can have water brought in, but there are no electrical outlets along those beaches.
What there is abundant amounts of sunshine, so solar is hands down the best way to be comfortable in Baja.
There's definitely some spots that we park at, and one day turns into another, you just don't want to leave, and we didn't have to.
We've been using Born Lithium batteries for over 2 years, and they are the absolute best way for us to store our solar power. These batteries offer us twice the capacity of our old batteries, and they're also a fraction of the weight. Plus, they're maintenance free, allowing us to get out there and stay out there, or get out here and stay out here.
We've got Tucker napping in his bed, his little baby monitor is plugged in, all solar.
We are definitely not babying our batteries. They're covered in dust. This is a desert, there's dust everywhere. But since they're maintenance free, they're still supplying the power that we need. This is essentially a semi-truck we're living and driving, so it can't go everywhere. Let's go check it out first though with the pickup truck. We drove over there and we're like, holy crap, this is an amazing spot. So it was an amazing location. There's no howling dogs or neighbors next to us. Who needs full hookups?
Not us.
The next morning we got up, we went down to Todos Santos. There's this cool restaurant where you make your own tacos. You kind of point what all you want on your tacos, pretty neat. A lot of good food in Todos Santos, just so you know. We got the RV wrapped back up.
Yeah.
And we squeeze out of there, this big old thing. And we just drove separate because we weren't driving very far. Jenny was in the truck in front of me, with all of our surfboards and kayaks and bikes and stuff hanging out all over. We definitely had the Beverly Hillbilly kind of look going on with all the crap hanging off.
Very safe enough. We could have put Tucker on the top.
Yeah.
A little car seat.
But we hadn't driven all the roads to get to this new spot, so we decided, we did some Google Maps the night before and found this nice road.
We found a more direct road that we thought would have been easier in the RV.
There's these nice fancy houses all around. There's got to be some good roads, we figured, right? So we found this big road and we kind of curve around, and all of a sudden, boom, we hit more of these crazy, just like really rough roads. We're like,
yeah, huge potholes and rocks in the road, and it has not been maintained at all. And we're like, these are incredible houses. Like, why do these roads suck so much?
but we found out afterwards, after the fact, all the roads to get there sucked, and there's a reason for it.
Yeah.
In Mexico, or at least here in Baja, if you have a nice road, people will drive on it. So if you make your road nice, all of a sudden you're inviting all this traffic.
Yeah.
And so they actually, even though they had these $1 million houses all around us, they intentionally, so we were told, they intentionally kept the roads rough just so that it didn't attract a lot of people to come drive through there.
Yeah, I mean, because it is a public beach all along at the bottom of the neighborhood, and so, I mean, I would want to hang out on that beach, obviously.
Yeah.
But the roads are a deterrent.
Well, we were able though to get the RV once again through these crazy roads, and we pulled out onto this new spot, and it was really cool because, I mean, here we are, we have the owner of this land's permission to be there, stay as long as you want.
Yeah, I think 3 or 4 of the neighbors, when they were out walking their dog, if we were outside, they definitely stopped to, you know, kind of feel us out and see if we had the permission or not. And we did, and as soon as we said the gentleman's name, they're like, oh, okay, cool, you guys are fine. So there are a ton of perks, but one of the biggest perks, I think, for me, being able to live this lifestyle, is we have been around for every one of Tucker's milestones.
Yeah.
And it has been so cool to just I mean, we're not going to remember all of these moments, all of these different things that we learned how to do, but one of the biggest ones, when we were parked in this $1 million oceanfront, beachfront spot, Tucker just pulled himself up from sitting, which is a new trick. It's new, yeah.
Baby trick, yeah.
Tucker learned how to go from sitting up to pulling himself up to a standing position, which was a little horrifying, knowing that, you know, he's becoming more and more rascal every day. Yeah. But we got to see that, and it was so cute and fun.
It was also kind of scary because now all of a sudden we need to baby-proof more stuff that he can get into.
Yeah.
So as the waves calmed down and the ocean kind of calmed down a couple days later, I thought, hey, I should try to go spearfishing.
Because he learned nothing from baby at conception.
Yeah, I'm gonna go out spearfishing, catch some fish. We're gonna have fresh fish for dinner. It sounded great, right? So I get all my gear on, and as I'm going down to the beach, I'm looking around, and there's like nobody, you know. Cool, just me, you know. As I get in the water, I'm like, oh, it's just me. And as I start to go underwater, I'm like, oh, it's just me out here.
And
every like 5 or so minutes, a swell would come in, and these waves come and churn the water up. So like you could see very clearly, and then all of a sudden you couldn't see anything for about 10 seconds. And then the water would clear up again, you could see for, and then it just back and forth. Initially, I couldn't find any good areas for fish, and I went deeper in the water, about 20, 25 feet of water depth. And I finally found some pretty good reef area in these rocks, and I started to see some fish. But as I got deeper and deeper, you know, my brain starts thinking, well, hey, what else is out here? And I know that sharks don't attack people all the time on purpose.
Accidentally on purpose. Ate half your leg.
Yeah, whatever the case may be. There definitely was no one there to rescue my ass, and there was nothing for a long ways. Started getting a little sketched out, but I worked through it, kind of working my breathing, whatever. Calmed down. I just said, hey, I'm gonna be aware if I see a shark, whatever, I'll just head in, you know, kind of keep my cool. And I started working this reef area. I'd take a deep breath and go down, and got where I could hold it for a half minute or so, nothing like the professionals. And I finally started finding some fish, but the problem is, I'd see the fish, before I could get a shot off, the fish would be gone. I knew the triggerfish I could eat, I knew it tasted good. And I found one. I was able to get off a shot. It was a clean shot. I hit the fish right in center mass. Now what do I do, right? Because I don't know what I'm doing. And I know I need to get a hold of the fish and be careful how I get the hook out, make sure that the fish doesn't, fish are pretty tough, they'll swim off and stuff. And so I went up to take a breath of air, and I was gonna go back down and work my way down and get the fish. And in the time it took me to go up, I'm also thinking, hey, fish is now bleeding, blood, sharks, you know? So I'm like, you know, no shark fins. Take a breath, I go back down. As I get down, the triggerfish had gotten loose and gotten free. And I felt so bad because I had injured the fish, you know, who knows if it's gonna survive or not. And, you know, we're definitely not gonna have fish for dinner. Wow. So, that's a bummer.
Maybe you fed a shark.
Yeah, maybe the shark got happy.
Circle of life.
It was one more chance to become a better spear fisherman.
Yeah.
How's that?
Sorry you can't take a breath. You gotta bring that fish in.
Yeah, I guess
you
next time.
You might pass out.
Next time, the minute you catch that fish, you get your hands on it and don't let it off.
I don't know. So even though we didn't have any fresh fish for dinner, that was all right, because Jesse came into the beach, Tucker and I were on the beach. We had our nice little setup with our umbrella and as many baby toys as we could carry. But it was good. So we wrapped up that day just having a nice family beach day. Just before sunset, a pod of whales they were pretty far offshore, but a pod of whales came by. Mm-hmm. We were able to kind of watch them for a little bit. They're spouting off air. Yeah, that was neat to see. That was really cool. So yeah, we finished up the day with what? I think we grilled some steaks. We're on the beach. We got to see a sunset and whales, and Jesse didn't get eaten by a shark. I mean, we're in Mexico. Our house is steps away on the beach. And being on the Pacific coast, amazing sunsets over the water. Yes. And just yet another great Baja experience. You know, just like we keep thinking we've had our last great experience, and there's just so many cool things that keep happening. Our parents fly down and visit us, and they rent a luxury Airbnb or VRBO. VRBO, yeah, it's a pretty special place. we break some more stuff.
This is a pretty good one this time.
They're all pretty good.
You can find some of our earlier Baja videos over here. The next video in this series is right here. You can find out more information on our website as well. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.